Big deal at all.
T-
We're only
Yes.
doing yours, Hudbug.
What?
We're only doing yours.
What?
Your
My
topics.
topics? You don't want to do
Yeah.
something else about Yu Yu Hakusho or
Nope.
One Piece?
One Piece is
You
the
know, I'm
bomb,
a
no
big comment
lies.
on Yu Yu Hakusho. I saw a little clip of it. I thought it was like a show from the early 2000s because it looked kind of bad.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
Wait,
I
the
don't like how it
recent
looked.
clip?
It might have been.
Oh no, okay.
Like I saw like a fight scene. It was like, okay, that's kind of like it looks old. So I
But
thought
it's
like
so
people were like
good.
bringing up an old show.
Yeah, they probably were.
Wait, you talking about the live action or the original anime?
I think we're talking about
The
the
live
original
action.
anime.
No, live action.
Oh, what? Okay,
Maybe
bro.
it just was the clip I
Here,
saw.
it had. I need to
I
see
still
the clip
haven't
now.
watched it.
It might have been an older live action. Whatever I saw, it didn't look that good. I just like the short.
You might be high.
Maybe. I just saw a dude getting ran over, and it looks corny.
Sure, it wasn't just like Grand Theft Auto real life.
Okay, now that's definitely like the plot.
Animated versus live action in general, and why people are out of their minds for their expectations for both.
Well, I mean, look at the. Yeah, good.
Sorry. No, is when you think of what you can do via animation, whether it be 2D or 3D, obviously you can do a lot more. There is an example that I can think of is Ruby. Originally, it was a 3D animated show, first made in Poser, moved on to Maya, whatever. That is actually the first show that was created in the US that was actually dubbed in Japanese, got an award for that, and they got an actual anime. To the point where it's actually basically a retelling of the first season. So they redid
It's like a reimagining. It's not the exact same story.
It is because they like added their own spin on it. But like there's a example of so in the first episode, Ruby, the main character, fights some goons. So now when it goes into the 3D animation and why it's different and more, should I say, realistic, or in a sense more live action, what would be is there is realism to it. Because originally Ruby's fighting style was based on weight and momentum. Obviously, her weapon is heavy as fuck. And so it would smash into the ground. She would have to, you can see in her movement how hard she had to swing it around. And then you get into the anime and she's twirling it around like a plastic stick and flying around all beautiful animation petals. Don't get me wrong, it's gorgeously animated, but it's clearly anime. And then so you take that logic and you have to think of, you're trying to take what's usually something created for anime or animation that you can do whatever the hell you want. Try and figure out how that would look within real life.
Well, if it's anything like swinging around a sledgehammer, I would say it'd be quite hard to do.
Well, no, my other example is the Sonic movie. If you remember, Sonic was in production. They tried to make something look real. Everyone on the internet hated it.
This looked horrifying. The teeth alone.
It was scary. It was scary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We bullied a whole animation company into changing the character.
But when it looked like it did in animation, so to speak, more like it did in the animation, it looked more natural, quote unquote. It just goes in the thing of you try and make something that was clearly not made for real life and put it in real life, you're gonna fail at some point or another.
But also on the standpoint of that chaotic, I mean, look at what they did with the Teen Titans show and compare that to, they got really lazy with it because even cosplayers who can't spend a whole lot of money on their equipment and on their clothes and everything, they still do a hell of a lot better than some of these movie and TV show companies who are so fucking lazy with how they do the representation of the characters from animations.
Well, it's not only that, is technically speaking, you go into that aspect, you have to go into the topic of corporations breathing down your neck versus people who actually care about what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, because like that whole TV show was fucking lazy.
I can give you a current prime example of that, and a lot of people on the internet agree. Wish. How that movie turned out.
Wish?
It's the new
The
Disney
latest
movie or Disney Pixar movie. It's about
Oh,
like a
yeah,
yeah
like a
It was
star or something.
yeah, it was reported
Wish movie.
without going into this year, without going into like all the details and spoilers,
Mhm.
that corporate basically had such a heavily influence on that movie. That's the movie we got versus what the movie everyone wanted.
Yeah, like I
Right.
saw like concept art of, like the Wish or the star being like an actual dude.
Yeah,
That
the star
she
was originally going to be a shifter. The king and the queen were a power couple.
I think that would have made the movie. I haven't seen the movie, but that just sounds like a much better concept.
Yeah, a
Everyone,
little bit.
everyone, and everyone. There's a common thing on the internet right now where it says if every single person who's reviewing the movie can come up with a better plot that makes more sense than the movie, you know you done fucked up.
Yeah, slightly into that. I'm not sure if you haven't seen anything about the new God of War games and how the DLC just came out. I guess there was some
No.
like people talking about how one of the original concepts for the God of War games, like we make 3 separate trilogies or stories of like Kratos, then an Egyptian and Norse God of War, all becoming the 3 wise men for Jesus in the Bible. And how that was like
What?
hinted back in God of War 2. I thought that was a pretty interesting way that the story could have gone, and I want to see that, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
We're gonna
No, they
finally get
can't
to
do
be able
that.
to meet Jesus in his second comings in a fucking video game.
Yeah,
They
That is
they
fucking crazy. But
they
you know what?
can't
That'd
do
probably be
that.
the best way for him to influence people.
They can't do that simply because too many Christians will be against them, and something crazy would basically happen.
I don't think the point was even for them to like kill Jesus or anything. It was just like they become the 3 wise men and go give Jesus his gifts when he's born or whatever. Like the
Yes,
three gods of war
Kratos just
become
like
that.
gives him some gas.
you just don't want to fuck with
Listen, when they
people that are
made
too religious.
Passion of the Christ, I think they fucked with the Christians enough.
What is that?
Passion of the
game?
Christ?
I never heard of that.
It's a Christian movie with oh, what the heck was his name? Not Family Guide. South Park made fun of it so much.
Did you know it's gonna be Passion of the Christ too?
No, don't say that. That movie was so bad.
Passion of the Christ Resurrection.
Oh my god, it's gonna be him in a fucking Hawaiian 5 shirt. I bet you. Anyway, the movie is supposed to be of what happened to Jesus throughout his nailing up on the cross. And the movie was given so many Christian awards that it was supposed to be the best, but then when you look at it from a non-Christian standpoint, it was just bad.
Huh.
It was very bloody, very like graphic. But at the
Like,
same time, the storytelling of it, if you really go by what the Bible said, was just terrible.
you know, like a little bit of blood.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's blood to be accurate, and there's blood just for the sake of blood.
Yeah, and it was blood for the sake of blood.
Well, it also goes into one of the greatest debates. Well, not even a debate; it's fucking true.
It's fucking coming.
But
It's in February.
if you think of Prince of Egypt, the movie by DreamWorks, which
Which
had
was
Oh,
done
yeah, that one.
beautifully.
yes, and the reason being is they consulted so many religious figures because there's more than one religion and history that takes
Mhm.
place during that movie.
Oh yeah. Egyptian mythology being one of them.
Exactly. And then you think of Gods of Egypt, and everyone fucking hated it.
Mhm.
I also hated that movie. I saw it
Maybe it
and
was blah.
yeah,
Can we talk about
The thing that with Gods of Egypt is that if it was just a movie, people would not have cared as much, but they tried to play it as, oh, this is accurate.
Yeah.
Gods of Egypt?
Trying to remember the plot of that one. I think it was Osiris lost his eye.
yeah, and like his
No.
son or something was like trying to get it back. No,
Yeah, like
I forgot
his
who it was.
he didn't know it was his son's son.
Basically, all the gods were humans, and when they turned into their godly form, they were just like mechs. It looked like a metal iron
Gold
suit.
dipped mechs.
That sounds terrible. That sounds like dog shit.
It's like
No.
It is.
raw, just became like got a metal bird suit and wings.
Yes. But the other thing, okay, so within mythology, the consensus, because technically, depending on the telling, it changes a little bit. Like prime example, Set either is married to, I don't remember her name. It begins with an N. She's either married
Nyx?
to him. No, it's not Nyx. She's a god of like water or river or something like that. Like
Nile? Nephrodite?
Nephrodite. Thank you. I believe it's Nephrodite. Yeah, either Set
Something close to that, I think.
Yeah, either Set is married to her or she is Set's sister. Like just a prime example, depending on the telling.
Is Loki
But
both?
Yeah, I mean, who
Honestly,
knows?
gods, we only know.
Greek mythology, 70% of it could have been prevented if Zeus kept it in the toga.
Most of my mythology knowledge is from Smite.
Yeah.
Most of mine is from research.
And
Within
some of that slightly being overwritten by the Sharimans and League of Legends because they're all based on Egyptian gods.
So, oh my god, this is like the best thing I remember from mythology class back in college. So the general consensus with specifically Horus and Set and Osiris and Isis. So Horus is no matter what, Osiris and Isis is son. It was like there was some celebration of some kind. I don't remember. I think it was Osiris's birthday or something. And Set gave him a gift, which was a coffin. He like said something like a challenge of, "Oh, I bet you can't do this." Obviously Osiris took the bait, got trapped in the coffin, and like during the struggle or something, Horus lost his eye trying to fight Set or whatever. So he had to flee, and basically, Horus had to go on a quest to save his father. Well, yeah, like save his father and also get revenge on Set, which he ends up doing, which is how Horus in mythology is known as the Avenger. Because Set, within Egyptian mythology, he is the god of evil. I think his secret name was like Evil Day or something like that. And there's more to it. Obviously, I'm glossing over a hell of a lot of details, but case in point, him losing his eye is not just movie theater. There is some mythological basis for that.
Yeah, the game is based on mythology.
Skimmed over it so fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't get movie.
And like, what's me though is that Gods of Egypt is quite literally the only movie or any form of media that accurately depicts Anubis, which is fucking hilarious.
You know, look what he looked like in that movie, because I don't think he looked like a metal Iron Man.
No, he looked like a black dog.
Anubis. Anubis's animal is a jackal.
Yeah.
In movie, the reason they're depicted with an animal head and a human body is to depict both their relationship to nature and also,
connection to humans.
Yes, and Anubis is it is not confounded. Anubis is a jackal. It is like just completely jackal. However, a lot of times in media, they make Anubis Set. Anubis is all evil and
because he's part of death, and yet death has always been evil.
No, it is his job to guard death and oversee it with the set of the scales and everything, which they kind of use in the movie, which is a plot point because they like change how the scales work.
Whereas, yeah, it goes based on what you bring with you to the underworld.
Yeah. Whereas in original mythology, what would happen is your soul would be weighed against a feather. If the feather stayed white and didn't tip the scales, you were good. If you failed, then your soul would have gotten eaten by I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
It's a terrifying hippo creature.
Yeah.
That served Anubis.
No, I don't think of it. What am I thinking of?
I kind of want to watch the movie now.
Tuaret?
Something like that, I think. It sounds familiar.
The first time Hippo goddess Tuaret was in I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm assuming that's the one you're talking about.
Looks like the alphabet just got lost in the name. Huh?
I'm just trying to get this word in the wiki.
Your alert bot. What do you mean, darling? Sorry. I'm trying to
Yeah.
learn how to mute while talking to you guys.
No, it's not good.
Oh my god, this looks like ass.
Alright, looking at the movie.
Uh,
Yeah, it's ass.
oh my god.
It's just lazy the way they did it.
There's too much metal and gold and
Yeah.
Well, they chalked it up because in Egyptian mythology, gold was deemed pure. So when you were given to the afterlife, that was what you were given with.
Well, and the biggest issue everyone had was everyone was white, except
Yeah.
for Oz, who was Chad Boseman. Rest in peace. Everyone wasn't Egyptian.
No,
Nobody was.
there's a bunch of white people playing Egyptian.
No,
oh my god, he was in that movie. That's crazy.
yeah, there's a lot of people in that movie.
The night of the museum was more historically accurate.
Yes,
Both
yes, it
of
was.
them.
No, what's his name? The Egyptian king or whatever, and not at the museum. Or didn't people think he was like white or something?
Yeah, they did think he was white, but he actually was not.
Yeah,
He's
he actually is
the
Egyptian.
Egyptian guy.
It was hilarious.
Wait, what's his name? No,
It's Rami
Rami Malek.
something
I,
like
I
that.
think.
Can't begin to name.
Yeah, Rami Malek as Akman Ra.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. There's an animated Night at the Museum movie. I need to watch that.
There's
I
an
think like
animated one?
I think they remade the first one, but like
Okay, I don't
animated.
know.
It came out in 2022.
This is the first time
And
I'm
it
hearing that.
Everybody was
might be a sequel. I'm just reading the little wiki. It says Nick Daly is following in his father's footsteps as the night watchman of the American Museum of Natural History.
It's a
So I
sequel
think it might be about his kid.
because it's
Yeah.
it's a sequel.
Okay.
If
Oh,
I'm
that makes it slightly more interesting.